the hell am I going to do today? I woke up just exhausted. I'm still exhausted. I had plans for a different kind of show for today. Everything seemed to got derailed. I did have a great day on Monday, but then, anyways, I'm not here to whine. We're not here to whine. We're here for the 999 show. Got it? All right. Shout out to Elizabeth, the more intuitive me. I ran out of yellow, but she sent me some watercolor paints a little over a year ago, and I am using some. I'm using that yellow now. It's not the exact same color of yellow, but it's it is close. And so thank you, Elizabeth, for the watercolor paints you sent me a year ago. We're going to do something here. Welcome, Desiree. Welcome. I had a whole other show planned, Desiree, but it just didn't happen. This is not watercolor paper, but we'll do something. I'm going to do something here. Is this stream clear? We're just going to stand here, start by staring into, just staring into space, staring into it all to see if you can, you know, staring into it, you know. Some kind of a thing. I think we'll do some kind of a thing, some kind of a figure. Um, I thought I just wasn't going to use any examples or anything. And okay, good, it's clear. Hey, the sun came out. The sun finally came out today. We'll just do something here. Well, that almost looks like my body shape, except that it's more like that. Got more of a gut going on. But, but that's more natural, isn't it? Isn't that more natural? If we got more of a natural figure, it'd be kind of more like that. It's what the more the average American person looks like. A little bit more like that. Kind of a side view of the average person. Yeah. Okay. I've just got a hat on. Yeah, I got a hat. Hats off. I don't have an eraser that's handy. I think I have an eraser right over here. Oh, welcome. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Yeah, so we'll just take the eraser, and I'm gonna do a bad drawing of the average American person. This is the average American person who is going to be drafted into Trump's war. As you know, Trump's war is definitely going to, unless it doesn't get shut down soon, we'll have a good war thing going on. Welcome, John. Welcome. Maybe this is hairline. Yeah. Maybe we'll just do a little bit more. Have well, we're going to do the side view here. Any jokes? I don't have anything fun. I'm sorry. I'm kind of all funned out. But I was trying to be, more fun. Trying to be more fun. Big nose. Got a big nose. Guy's got a big nose, maybe a bigger nose. Gotta have a nose to match the rest of the body. There we go. hmm And then what? He's got the hands at the side. Kind of big old arms. And where do the arms go? Come down to the waist a little bit. Maybe these are short arms. You don't know what goes on in the world. Well, I'll tell you what went on. I'm tell you what went on. I was actually gonna start a. I was gonna think, oh, maybe I should do one about World War III. Talk about World War III coming up on World War III here. But of course, everybody assumes nuclear, but it doesn't have to be. World War III doesn't have to be nuclear. That's where I'm at. Knock knock. Who's there? Ice cream. Ice cream who? Ice cream for you all night. All right. All right, John. Now let's see about doing the side view here. Maybe I look in my image in the mirror if I can get a bit more side viewy here. Oh, some eyeballs. Got some eyes here. Kind of a real cartoonish image. You got kind of these big old ears coming out. Big old ears here. Good jokes, good people. We's all good people. How's that look? Like the every man's man? I think the arms need to go down a little bit further to be in proportion. Maybe the arms, maybe extend the arms down a bit more. Took the dog to the vet yesterday. I mean, vet / groomer, and I think that's where the hands hang down too. It's pregnant. Yeah. Well, that's just that's the average American man, right? Average American man looks like this. Average man in America. After too many days of, you know, too much time on the couch and no butt too. Yeah, the hard belly. Yeah. And the backside, maybe the backside, extend this down a little bit more backside. Look really lumpy and sad. It's got that. It's got that. Well, yeah, that's right. Having dreams, or he drinks a lot of beer. Yeah, got the beer look. Let's see, what do we got here with the legs? Can I do something here with the legs to make it more funny looking here? There's the knee. Got a big lumpy legs. There. Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see what's going to happen. It's funny. Yeah. Yeah, anyway, so my birthday's on Tuesday. No, Sunday. My birthday's on Sunday. I had my birthday lunch yesterday. I wanted fried chicken, so I got fried chicken. We took the dog to the groomers and the vet and got $300 worth of, you know, $300 worth of. Maybe that's the watch. Get the watch. It's got a big watch face there. Short sleeve shirts there. Yeah, okay, there we go. All right, let's see what happens. Well, it's coming up. I'm gonna be 5'8". 5'8". That's what I'm gonna be. 5'8". And I'm gonna. I'm not. That's how tall I'm gonna be in a few years. If I live another 50 years, I'm gonna be 5'8". That's what my height will shrink down to. Yeah, my mom's birthday was last Friday, and my birthday is on the 22nd. I am gonna do a Tools of Fortune on that day. Let's see. Needs a hat. I haven't actually done watercolor in a long time. So this is my first painting since before the art fair. So put a bunch of water out here. So you think you're 5'7"? Hmm. Yeah. I think he needs like a blue hat. Kind of the first layer blue like this. Kind of blue here. Go dip into the yellow there. Elizabeth's yellow. Kind of yellow bill on it. Hmm. You're 5'2"? 5'2", 5'7", 5'8". Yeah. Hey, do we got a 5'1"? Anybody out there with a 5'1"? 5'1"? Anyone? 5'1"? Okay, what do we got? We're gonna have let's see, we got a big sloppy guy with maybe the shirt's got a you're five even. Wow. 5 even. Well, you know what? I was a few years ago, I was corresponding with someone I think who was 4 foot 9, 4 foot 9, 4 foot 10 from the Philippines. I think someone from the Philippines, 4 foot 10, something like that. Yeah, 4 foot 10. Because it seems to be a pretty average height. And over there in the Philippines, everybody's really super short. So you have a coworker around 4'10". Well, I had a coworker in the aughts who was like 4 foot 10 or 11. She was one of my assistant. Yeah, 4 foot 10, huh? Well, sorry I'm not all that talkative. Is there anything good happening out there in the world outside of myself? I mean, I'm sure that there's something good happening to all of us. But maybe the thing to remember here is that I don't know what the thing to remember. I don't have any words of wisdom. Do this first layer of kind of bluish paint. Where's Your son from is in town from Massachusetts. It's great to have him home. Desiree, you're not old enough to have a son that old. I mean, what are you like 32, Desiree? I mean, you're like maybe 29, 30. That's when I think of you. I think of you like maybe 29, 30. You don't you're not old enough to have a child that's living outside of the home. I'm going in a big blue sweatshirt suit here. We'll just kind of start the first layer thing with blue. 45? Jeez. Okay, he goes to hockey school. So you have a 23-year-old. Jesus. That doesn't seem hardly possible. Hmm. 23 and 16 and wow. Hmm. Well, my sister, who's just a little bit older than I am, she has a what? She has a child who's um yeah, 22. She has a child that's her oldest, I think it was 34, 33 or 34. She has what, five grandchildren now? The oldest grandchild was the $1 million baby. Was born, and then the oldest grandchild is like 8. And then they just had two other grandchildren born in the last year. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, 22. I don't remember when I was 22. I know I talked a little bit about a story from when I was 20, when I had my 22nd birthday, and I forced all my friends to go bowling with me. Forced my friends to go bowling with me, and me brown shoes going up to black shoes or something like that. This is like the hermit. It's the everyman's hermit here, kind of staring off into space, the baseball cap on. So you have two grandkids and nephews that you haven't met? Hmm. Well, it is possible that I have a kid out in the world. That was a possibility. That was a possibility that I could have had a kid out in the world of from the person from that lady from girl from Brazil and that girl from Brazil. That's some real darker blue pants. Yes, it is possible for men to have unknown children. You're right. I don't think I do. I think I would have heard about it. I would have heard about it, but there is that possibility. It was back from when I was, what, 20, almost 21. Someplace I have a picture of her. She was Japanese from Brazil. Seems that all of my girlfriends in my late teens and 20s were Japanese. I've always liked, I've had a weakness for Asians, Asian. Um, I wonder if I wasn't. I wonder if I was like a Filipino in a last life. Actually, I had this. I was just thinking about that the other day. I was thinking, oh, I wonder if I wasn't a Buddhist monk in my last life. Some blue pants and yeah, I don't know. Mm. Thank you for the hearts. I like that. Kind of a solid color shirt, but we might introduce another. Yep, it is always possible for men to know that they don't have children, that they have children. Unknown children in the world. What, Bill? Yeah, I'm trying here. I'm really tired today. You know what it is that it it ruins my day every time I fall asleep in a damn chair. And I wake up and the sun's up and like that's what happened today. Hmm. I keep thinking this is like the hermit, like a hermit card, but it's the American hermit. Yeah, that's what I'm going to title it. I'm going to title this thing the American Hermit. Number 9. A am I going to run out of space? A-M-E-R-I American a American. Yeah, I know. You're telling me it ain't good for me. Hermit. Hermit. The American Hermit. I feel like I need to put like a beer can down on the ground. He's got a little logo on his shirt called beer. A little bit beer there. Beer. I need to take a walk. American Hermit. Gazing forward. What do we do about the eyes? Is it a little pixelated? Time for a beer. Yeah, time for a beer. Oh, yeah. I don't do arms very well. Jeffrey, welcome. Welcome, Jeffrey. The American Hermit. You know, we can look at the American version of the Hermit. This is what I got going on in my head. I need to do the other arm. I think I'll put a beer can in it instead of a staff. Oh, you got to do dinner? Okay. You used to be yo man, huh? Okay, here we go. The Hermit. There's the model. You used to be a kid, yeah. Well, you know what? I never stopped being a kid there, John. Well, have a great dinner, Desiree. It's good to see you when you pop on in here. All right, let's see what we can do here. We're gonna see about doing another hand here. Maybe arm comes out like that and comes out over here. What will make it look natural? So, like that. Let me see. What's it gonna look natural like? You want to hold it up here like that. Okay. I'm just looking at that. I just need to get the right posture here. I'm going to be trying to eyeball this. And in the hand, so I guess we'll make the target. Yeah, American Hermit. Yeah, exactly. Beer. The Hermit. I'm having too much fun here. And kind of lumpy arm. That. And in the hand is a beer can. Beer can. Yeah, it's for drawing. Oh wait, let's just make this a bottle. See if I can imagine like it was a bottle of like Mad Dog or something like that, or the got a little flabby arm like this. Knock knock, who's there? Baby owl, baby owl who? Baby owl, see ya at my place later. That's good, John. That's a good joke. Okay, we're gonna work on this. Maybe he's got a big bottle. We gotta think about a big bottle here. A big old bottle of beer. That. Make the arm shorter. Gazing at this bottle of beer here. Big old jug of wine, and hands comes up here, and you can see he's holding it by the neck over there, holding it over here. So we got a finger coming around. Damn, I'm not really good with hands. Anyway, you know what? We're just gonna guess. He's just holding this thing up here, holding it up in space, holding this big old jug up, jug in his hand, and got flabby arms, and kind of really flabby arms, and kind of cartoonish here. I didn't have any idea what I was going to be doing today, but I guess we do now, huh? And so we're not going to be seeing the thumb over there. It's kind of like that. Okay, we got kind of a grip on it around here. The thumb there, and then maybe some fingers coming around it. Thumb kind of gripping like that. Some fingers. Look totally unnatural. Maybe another finger over here. Hey! 1, 2, 3. Hey, if it looks like, if I put 6 fingers, then it's going to look like AI, right? Hey, this is happening here. Maybe my hiatus from like art for 4 or 5 months has been good, right? I can come back in and do cartoon art more so. That, yeah. We got the American Hermit. We got beer on the side. Beer. B E E-R, beer. I'm sorry. This is way too much fun. This is way too much fun. I'm just having too much fun here. All right. What have we got next? All right. So we just announced to the world that this is just beer. Make it a brown bottle. Want to make sure that we'll let that ink dry a bit, and then we'll come in with some, maybe some of this Payne's Gray. Maybe we'll put some Payne's Gray on the feet. Mm-hmm. Okay, we can put this guy away. We don't need to have that hermit. You know, this is special thanks to Tarot Ask Backwards for getting me this deck of cards on my last year's birthday. I like that Golden Art Novu deck. I wish they had like a full size, you know, those larger cards. It would be nice to have a larger size card deck. Maybe all 70 what cards? Was that 70? 68 cards done in that size or a little bit bigger, giant size cards. But would I be reading on them? No, I'd be reading on those uh, other ones. They got the ones with the you know, words on them. Take the other arm and put some. Make that sleeve a little bit more. Maybe like this one too has got another. I guess I don't do clothes very well. Gazing into that beer at night, and what do you see? The American, the American hermit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Maybe we want to add a different color into the shirt. Maybe some red. Yeah. We'll see. We'll take some of this red. Kind of a thin layer. Want to get it to go to that purplish color. Hmm. When is Easter this year? Does anybody know when Easter is? When the date, the official date of is it like next week or something like that? Next weekend, Easter? Hmm. Kind of reawaken those colors. Now they've kind of bloomed out there because this is not watercolor paper, all right. American woman. Da 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 da. American woman. Da 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 da. Na 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 na. American woman. Da 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 da. American woman. Mm-hmm. April 5th, so it's coming up soon. Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm going to win the lottery soon. Yeah. Hopefully, it's not another free ticket. There we go. We got the clothes. They look pretty bad. But you know, probably what it is you come back in here later with other layers and I can make it look better. I think that's the way this works. All right, let's go work on the outdoors. The bottle is going to be like a brown color, a brown colored bottle. April 5th. So that must be on a Sunday. Maybe, American woman. La, da, da, da. There we go, the American Hermit. But if he's like a real true American, he's got a lot of hair on his back. I need a haircut. Did I mention that? My hair is getting like wildly out of control. I don't even know how much haircuts cost these days. What does it cost to get a haircut? I haven't actually gone to a barber for like 2020 or something like that. 2019, I think, maybe. Kind of got rocky ground. Mm-hmm. 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 American woman. Mm-hmm. 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 There we go. Beer. Facial hair. That might be a little bit harder to do. I think I'm going to worry about that later. Well, actually, you know, you lose hair on the head and it migrates down to the back. So, yeah. Let's see, which green do I want to use? A sap green? Yeah, let's use that. Got just a little bit of greeny out there. I need to take a walk. Bring the wood in. Trying to do those things. Just a little bit of color goes a long ways. Hmm. Hmm. But the hermit's kind of on desolate ground. I'll have to add some this stuff in the brownish colors in there too. Hmm. Yeah, don't forget the facial hair. Hmm. The American Hermit got you going here. Hmm. Hmm. Just like a brown stain out in the woods, huh? Brown stain out in the woods. My favorite food, uh, everything I can't eat anymore. Pizza is probably one of my favorite foods. Actually, I really like. I like Vietnamese. I like Vietnamese pho. I like that. I haven't had it for a while. I need to make it. It's the noodle problem. I know how to make the. I've made the actually made the broth before, and I've made. I made a a vegetable broth a couple of years ago that tasted exactly like pho, the pho broth. I used to like anything that was super spicy. I like tacos. Maybe I'll make tacos tonight. I could do that. I mean, can I do that? Yeah. But actually, I think I'm just gonna have soup tonight because it's easy. I made the soup the other day, and I will. Because I like the patterns. I like how that patterns works over there. Mm-hmm. Let's go take some of this yellow over here. Mm-hmm. Put the yellow in there. Mm-hmm. Pizza. I like pizza. I like spicy foods, pho, spicy soup, certain kinds of soup. Kind of like the thin beef kind. The thin beef kind, I like that one. Hmm. Well, hmm, let's see, what was the background look in the hermit card? It's kind of, maybe it's kind of gray, maybe something like that. We're not done with this thing, so we'll put it back over here. So we can take a look at it, what to do about the background. I'm sorry, I'm finding this really funny. Finding this whole thing rather amusing, having this cartoonish hermit image. I think we're going to do kind of a yellowy background. I think some of that. Well, what's your favorite food, Maria? I like, you know what I do like? One of the things I really like, and it's hard to get, is I like Vegemite. I like Vegemite. And I like Vegemite on crackers. I make my own crackers now. I make my own. I've been making flax crackers, and I'm gonna probably make some more tonight. You know, your average low carbohydrate flax crackers. This last batch I made was pretty good. It was made with red lentils and chia seeds and flax seeds. And then you kind of spread that goo out onto a, like a PFA-free parchment paper, and you kind of cook it like at 250 or something like that for 3 or 4 hours, depending on the heat, depending on your oven. A different kind of one of a kind hermit, yeah. Hmm. Gazing into that beer at night, kind of got a sunny. Maybe we'll add. It should be kind of maybe gray. Maybe we'll add some grayer tones. Shift over to some grayer tones out there. Like, what happens if I mix? If I take this Payne's gray and I mix it in with the yellow over here. Yeah, we'll do that. Kind of mix more of a dark green. Yeah, okay. All right. There we go. That's what we're going to put over here. Maybe that's like a mountain range in the background. Maybe a fog or a mist. Welcome, Karen. Welcome. How do you like my hermit card? Do you notice a resemblance there, Karen? Do you see a resemblance? I think there's a resemblance. Yeah, it's got a hell of a resemblance. Yeah, it's a good resemblance. Beer, yes, exactly. Big bottle of beer. Yep, it's got a lantern. It's got the enlightenment in a bottle. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where these ideas come from, Karen. I don't know where I get these ideas from. Because I didn't have any clear plan at all when I started. I was thinking that I wanted to do about an hour ago. I started planning this. I had some other plans going on, and you know, miss doing shows with Jeff. Oh, yeah. And I started thinking about, started thinking about the war. And I started thinking about what if we have a draft, and how many people could even like qualify to be in the military. I mean, because a lot of Americans are this shape. At least they are around here, around where I live. Man, this is a average shape of Americans in this area. Who wants to go to war? God, I hope they don't do a ground war. It's going to be a catastrophe. Cottage cheese and peaches boot camp, yeah. You know, in Ukraine, they draft people up to 70 years of age now, and yeah. Stand well. I think during World War II, they took during World War II they drafted men up to I think 45. Yeah, yeah, they took men up to 45 during World War II. Well, thank you. I'm not really thinking about it. I'm doing stream of consciousness just like I do everything else. Kind of starting to pop out a bit. Oh, but you know what? I'm getting I'm getting a larger channel guy coming on in a couple weeks. Supposedly, it's going to happen in a couple weeks to have. Oh, you know what they do? Oh, well, here's what they do in Ukraine with 70-year-old men. They put them on. They put them on the mine sweeping teams. I don't know if that's true or not. You know, you put a gun in your hand, and well, at 70, you're towards the end of your lifespan. You know, and yeah, mine sweepers. That's what you be. That's what you do at 70 years old. Welcome, Pop Will Eat Itself. Mr. Will Eat Itself. Yeah. Welcome to the 999 show. I don't do this all the time, just some of the time. Um, I was going to do something else, but I lost my mind. I was kind of depressed today. Oh, yeah, I'm feeling kind of depressed with the war and all that bullshit going on. Let's go take, what else am I going to do up in that, maybe a little more of this yellow over there. Put some of this yellow on there to thank you for the praise. It's kind of like a mountain over there. It happens. Yeah. Yeah, it does. They are weird at they are. They are. Especially since I had heard this morning that 20% of the world's liquefied natural gas went up in smoke. So the natural gas fields at Qatar, Qatar, are offline, and so I think I'll leave that white space out there. I think that'll be good. And I think this guy's almost done, but maybe Well, okay, I'll try to stay away from the news. The news is on in the other room, but the regular legacy news isn't talking about any of this stuff. I was like tuning into Mister Global. I tuned into Mister Global this morning or this afternoon or whatever you want to call it. Um, let's see what we can do about the beer bottle. I think I'll use some of this yellow ochre, and we're going to move it over here. Add a little more of that yellow to it. There we go. Staring into that bottle of beer at night, the hermit says, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Maybe we'll take a little bit of this blue over here and kind of give it a little bottle cap thing. There we go. And then we got the eyeballies over there. American Hermit. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I haven't really done any since like before the art fair, because I was really burned out on painting and so forth. I was like staring at the blank canvases and thinking, I can't do this with my best, Homer Simpson's kind of a voice. As I was when I was looking at painting, that was exactly what I was feeling. It was like, oh my God, I just can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. But today, I guess, because I didn't, everything I had planned to do 999 show wise, it just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. And so I needed to do something. So we did this. That's what we've done. I think I'll do another something on the shirt again. Let's come back over here with this blue here. And let's bring her down on the shirt. Another layer on the shirt. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, this thing. Yeah. Well, this is fun actually. This guy is just cracking me up actually. Yeah. And this figure, this guy's just cracking me up. It's cracking me up. That's what's going on. I'm being cracked up in the moment. Hmm. 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 I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow night for the show. Maybe if Karen is available, she can call in on be my call-in guest. As long as you promise not to say the N word over and over again, or you come on and promise not to show your wanker on or something like that. One of the guests I had on about a month ago, he said he did it. He had was on one of those open panel shows, and somebody came on and showed their wanker. You know, he was like, "What is this? Chat GDP or I mean, what was that show? There was that random. It was like he's wearing a vest. Yeah, I guess maybe that's what he is doing. He's wearing a vest. Wearing a vest. Yeah, I was just trying to do the arms, so that they stand out. Colors of the and all that, so it stands out. Yeah, shows their wankers, press their wankers up to the camera, and then yeah, there was that random kind of chat roulette. That was what it was. Because my buddy used to go do the chat roulette, and he'd go play his banjo on there. But then you get all kinds of random stuff happened on chat roulette. I think it was like an anything goes kind of a thing. It was like 10 years ago, was it? No, it was before his kid was born. His kid's like in high school, so that would have been like 15 years ago. Chat roulette. I think it was before he got married. The second time. Yeah. Hmm. You got the shirt that's kind of hanging down, kind of looking kind of sloppy. Because when I started wanting to do the call-in show, I was expecting that people. I wasn't expecting to get trolls. Trolls kind of that was kind of wasn't expecting that. I don't know why I shouldn't have. I should have been expecting that to happen. I was should have that should have been what I expected. And that's exactly what did happen to get the damn trolls. Now, granted, on Tools of Fortune, I wouldn't mind bringing those trolls in, those Bible banging trolls in. On the day before Super Bowl, the Saturday before Super Bowl, that's when that happened. I never I pulled that show. I pulled that show. I pull the shows any shows that have either they're highly pixelated or there's something wrong with them or personal information gets thrown out there or you accidentally show a license plate or or something personal goes out and I pull every show that has something personal goes out. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so license plates. I try to not film people when I'm out in public, down at the beach, or I try not to film people that, make people part of the video who didn't ask to be part of it. So, you know, and so if it's like yeah, it's like license plates or, anything, if I, show my camera roll and there's something personal on there that I want to show, and then it ends up on the film. Well, of course, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna be pulling that one off. You know. Anyways, I think this is all we have for now. I don't know what to do about the skin, so I'm not going to. I don't think we just got this eyeball over here. Um. Yeah. Here we go. Mm. If you had a tank, you could have a farmer's tan. Oh yeah, I don't know how to write that. I wouldn't know how to do that because I don't have skin. I don't think I have skin tones here. I don't have skin tones here. But yeah, I was thinking about tank tops, but here it is. It's got a sloppy shirt. There we go. You didn't think anything of what? Oh, you didn't think any of it? Yeah. Anyways, that's what we got for today. The skin, yeah. Well, yeah, well, I guess that I might come back to it. Probably not. But I got a lot more pages in this book, so I think I probably, I can't like abandon painting altogether, can I? No. I'll try something else. Maybe we'll do another, like you love it as funny. Yeah, I like it as funny too. Yeah. We're getting into spring, a major arcana set like this. Yeah. Well, let's see what we got here. Let's do this. Let me turn. Wait, come on. Kind of drooping down. We don't want it to droop. There we go. I have a theme now. Yeah. Well, anyways, this is what we got going on. Oh, an hour and 13 minutes. I didn't think I'd be on that long. Anyways, what do we got? That's all we got here. Was I thinking of something else? I was thinking things, but I'm not really. Yeah, the American Hermit. I have some other things in here that I've done. Hmm. Should you trust too good to be true deal on eBay? I said live light on the package. I asked the floor person what it was. The box was vague. I imagine the children's game operation when the nose bulb glows red and a buzzer rings each time a piece is incorrectly removed. The floor person said, "We don't know, but for 666, who cares? It was a good deal. Live light, there was no window into the box and no rattle of parts. A black box with a lock on the front and hinges on the back. 666. I decided to purchase it. The floor person took my money and handed me the key. It sat on the coffee table a week before I got the nerve to slip the key in the lock. The action was smooth. I couldn't even hear a click. Gingerly, I opened the lid and peered inside. I was surprised to see a queue of spades, queen of spades, and a red rose. It was alive, vibrant, growing, roots and leaves tangled inside the box. There was no light inside. How did it live? I planted the rose in the yard. It grew into a mighty bush. I could never figure out what that nine of spades meant. Okay, nine of spades. Yeah, so this was written in my writers group a year ago on April 30th. What did I write last night in the writers group? I wrote something last night. All right. This is what I wrote last night in my writers group. Dick lounged around a nut-shaped pool. It was sunny, blue sky, the occasional fluffy cloud blew past. An unusual day in LA at the Horner residence. Odd people stopped by looking for a party. Usually Dick was game for an oddball, not today. Today Dick stared at the clouds, smiling at the shapes they made. The bunnies dressed in red were jumping in the pool, making big and little splashes, laughing, having fun. Dick felt bad for a second, turning the insurance salesman away. Most days Dick invited them in. When the Jehovah's Witnesses knocked on the door, Dick would escort them into the red room. Their eyes would bug out when scantily clad bunnies would dance and bounce in and offer whiskey sours. They rarely made it all the way through their spiel before they had to leave. Today was different. Today, Dick had made it. Dick Horner's movie, the first showing of Dick Horner's movie was tonight. It was a real movie about real life. Dick smiled as a bunny-shaped cloud dissolved into wispy threads of cotton. Finally, Dick said, I made it to the top. Yes, debut. Debut. That was the word I was trying to pronounce. So it was based on the prompts. The prompts were Horner, red, cloud, and bunny. Those are the prompts. Let's go to the week before. We had prompts. What were the prompts the week before? The week before, the prompts was vampire, gasoline, construct, and illusion. And let's see, what did I come up with that then? I know I rewrote it, so I got to figure out where the beginning was. So I've been meeting with a writing group. Actually, it's my writing group. I host it on Zoom on Wednesday nights, and I've been hosting on Zoom since 2020. So it's 6 years now. But this writing group, I started this writing group in 2010. In 2010 up in Seattle, and I meet with the same people, and they kind of carried on with it. And then in 2020, during the pandemic, we started it again on Zoom, and we just kept on going. So the same people, I write with the same people every week. We take a break in the summertime, and so we do stuff anyways. And I think this is where it starts. Is that why Dominion? Is that why they started the war? Do things they do? The tank of shadows spilling out, poisoning the ground? Illusion of the ego feeding hungry vampires in three-piece suits? Opening up doors with their teeth, hollow souls sucking the blood of unconscious mind through straw-like fangs, a construct of psychopathic delusions, a world program we're not supposed to see. Let's try that again. Dominion. Is that why they started the war? Do the things they do, this tank of shadows spilling out, poisoning the ground, illusions of the ego, feeding hungry vampires in three-piece suits, opening up doors with their teeth, hollow souls sucking the blood of the unconscious mind through straw-like fangs. Fangs, fangs, fangs. A construct of psychopathic delusion, a world program we're not supposed to see. We need to frame this up better like that. There we go. There's too much headroom in there. I'm breaking some of my own kind of things going on. Let's see, what did I write? That was last week. March 4th, 2026. Tony wore, okay, the prompts are student poverty, interview, and corpse. Student corpse poverty interview. All right. Tony wore a tattered suit to the interview at the student union. He handed his resume to the hiring manager. He was a stiff, straight arrow. Tony looked like Dick Van Dyke on the job, loose with all the motions as he sat across from his potential new boss. The boss glanced up, disapproving of the hope weaved into the words on the page. A rich man showed up for a dishwasher job looking poor. The boss opened his mouth and nothing came out. Rigor mortis set into Tony's relaxed demeanor. The boss walked about. The boss asked about his work history. Tony swallowed hard. The lump in his throat barely moved. Tony creaked out a whisper. I work nights. Doing what? The boss asked. Tagging corpses. Tony eked out a smile and handed the boss their names. Tagging corpses. Tony eked out a smile, then handed the boss their names. All right. It was supposed to be funny. You didn't get it. I'm trying to write funny stuff, and I'm not writing funny stuff at all, because this guy ain't funny at all. There ain't nothing funny about this guy. No funny guy here. Can't read that one. That one was bad. So, vampire prompt had just another emotional vampire taking up space. True story. Have the two I stare at then thinks my kids. Yeah. So, anyways, let me see what else. What else did I write in my weekly thing of writing? I don't actually edit these things. Sometimes I do, but I haven't really. This is just raw writing. Some of these are really bad. Actually, they're all bad. Just to put it out there. This one's really bad. Let's read this really bad one. All right. And then I gotta call it a night, or an afternoon, or whatever you call it. I think I can put that thing away in there. Okay. So the prompts are stranger, mistaken identity, sun, fight, and computer. And so when we do this thing, we all rotate. You provide different prompts. You write 5-10 minutes and see what you come up with. It was a case of mistaken identity. Blue knelt down to grab Knight's gun. Knight had met his unfortunate end battling the Marshmallow Man. You a bad boy. Battling the Marshmallow Man and its horde of evil minions. The Knight was the team leader. Blue had to take the team over. The last time he was team leader, he mistakenly misidentified the portal to the boss fight for the rerun. He stepped into the room and encountered a 1,000 flying fists punching his team into death. Spirals back to the beginning of the game. The Marshmallow Man cast a spell and a purple mist of death descended into the room. Morgan on the right flank and Greer on the left were ready. Morgan cast a mind spell of protection. It gave Greer and Blue enough time to launch 2 counter offensives. Bolts of blue lightning forked off Greer's staff, and Blue, using Knight's Gatling gun, fired off 2-minute stream of bits and bytes of data, bullets at the Marshmallow boss. For the first time since Blue started playing the game, he led the team to victory. Like a Wizard of War, yeah, like describing a video game. That's what was doing, describing a video game scene. I don't know where I got that from, but anyways. All kinds of crazy crap comes out of Bill's brain. Yeah. Bill's kind of crazy guy sometimes. Anyways. That's all we got. Thanks for hanging out with me, Care Bear. Thank you, Maria. We didn't see Sarah Jane here today. Miss Sarah Jane. Pop. At Pop will eat itself. Thank you. Thank you, Desiree. And thank you, Jeffrey Turtleman. Thank you, John from Canada. And was anybody else? Did I miss anybody else here? That's everybody. Everybody came here. And thank you to Karen for popping in as well. And I will be back tomorrow night at 8:30 Pacific for something. I think that I'm going to try and do a regular talk to me with some regular information. I don't know. What I was thinking about doing is reading some news articles that I flagged and kind of going into some things like that, some more esoteric stuff. And then I'm thinking that probably as we go into the future, as we go into the warmer weather, I will do more painting videos because I do want to do that painting. I have an easel set up in the other room, the room two rooms over, and I have a 15 by 30 canvas that I want to do an ocean scene on. And so I might, what would be great. This is what I would like to do. This is really what I want to do. Is while I'm sitting on there doing a painting video, have somebody who called in on the phone, like maybe it's not a random person, but just have somebody call in on the phone
we have a bit of a talk or something like that. Maybe it would be better when I do, if I point the camera down at the table to have that, rather than if I were doing a serious painting of a 15 by 30 canvas to do an ocean scene. I don't know that. I think I'd be too distracting, because I actually think I might not film that, because I know that it's going to take me about 6 months to do that painting. I'm hoping that I can get it done before the next art fair, providing that there is an art fair. Providing you know some JA doesn't like launch some nuclear weapons or something like that, because they you know lose their iron dome or something like that, and they can't repel missiles anymore. Some BS like that. Anyways, thank you. If you watch this all the way to the end, leave something like this in the comment section. Something like yay, 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 yay in the comment section. And a purple this thing, a purple this thing. Leave a purple this thing if you watch this all the way to the end, which nobody, maybe somebody did. I don't know if somebody did or not. But if somebody did leave this clear to the end, a purple this, a yay, 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 yay kind of a hand thing, and like a this and a this. And yeah, I think I was a Buddhist monk in my last life. Maybe not the last one, maybe the last one before the last one. Maybe that's why that whole region of the earth, when I used to see pictures and stuff from that whole region, from the stands all the way out to the Tibet, that it had it kind of had a feeling, a resonating feeling, some kind of a feeling about that. And like when I was in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, I had one of those feelings, and it made me think that there was something in that region that reminded me of something. Anyways, none of us are perfect. We are who we are. Well, I hope all y'all have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow night. I'll be back on for my Talk to Me show, and it would be nice if I had a guest, but I don't have any guests this week. All right, bye bye. Have a great day. Bye.